Are you tired of just getting through your day? I'm Michele Thill with Newland Wellness, and it's time for you to rediscover yourself, to start seeing your life past how it currently is, and instead start to view how it could be. I want to take a quote from Maya Angelou as a great example for today's talk. She once said, "Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away." When's the last time you had a breathtaking moment? Not for someone else, but for yourself. We as women live our lives through those around us. We're taking care of people. We're putting people first. Whether it's our family, sometimes our friends, it can happen at work. And now, as a woman who is 50 and over, in transition, where you, maybe like me, have been through a divorce, you might be widowed, you might be experiencing empty nest, or you've had a career pivot. It all can relate where there is change and there's a falling away of the roles we once held. And it's uncomfortable and uncertain of what now. And now I'd like to help guide you into moving forward with that emphasis on you. This is a great time in our lives, even if it doesn't feel like that, to stop just getting through our days and our lives. You know what I mean. You know, it's like you wake up, you maybe are going to work or you're doing something during the day and you're like, oh, I just can't wait till it's 5 o'clock or whatever. You know, you go to bed, we're working, if you will, for the weekend. We get to the weekend, maybe we do something fun, and then it starts all over again. It reminds me of that Paul McCartney song with Wings. It's just another day, where she's just waking up and doing the same old, same old. And our society, our culture is geared that way. We all, I would say, in some form, are living that day-to-day life and living on autopilot, where you get up, you have your morning routines, you have your afternoon routines, you have your evening routines, you go to bed, you get up, we just go, have you ever gone in the car and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm here already? And it's like, the car is just driving itself, if you will, even though you're behind the wheel. We're not taking control of our lives. And as women, in this time of our lives, we have the ability to step out of autopilot and start rediscovering what is fun for us, what is joyful for us, how we can feel alive instead of walking around kind of like the Walking Dead, where you're just doing the same old thing. You're not really thinking, you're just doing. You can stop that. Stop fitting in with our culture and start standing out and stepping up for yourself and really creating a life that you would now love to live. Even though you may not be enjoying your life now, and especially if you're not, that doesn't mean your life has to stay this way. You can choose to change that. and bring in more moments that matter into your life. And they don't have to be grand gestures. That's where we think it has to be something big, and it really starts with the small things. So I'd like to give you 3 ways or 3 steps that you can take to help you create more of a life that matters. Those moments that matter in your life. That's a better way to phrase it. The moments that matter in your life. Because of course your life matters, right? But the moments that matter in your life, those breathtaking moments. And the first one is to say yes to more first. What do I mean by that? Think about this. You know, remember when you were a kid and, you know, the first time maybe you were roller skating, or the first time you mastered riding a bike, or when you were a young woman, your first kiss, your first date, all those firsts that were alive, they took your breath away. You were like, wow, why not bring back that feeling by creating first now? You know, it might be a hobby that all of a sudden you get into. I never knew I was a painter. Oh my gosh, my photographs are fabulous. I am loving feel free as I'm dancing. What are some new hobbies that you could start getting involved with that would bring more life to you, that would make you feel more alive and smile and have fun? And it could even be, you could consider those to be maybe a little bigger events, but it could even be changing up your morning routine. You know, and saying, I'm going to get up in the morning and step out and take a nice walk, whether it's a brisk walk or if it's a nice day, and just like, oh my gosh, it just feels so good to do something different. So how can you create some firsts for yourself? What's one thing you could do today, and maybe every day, one small thing that would be a first for you that you could say yes to, that would just perk you up a bit and make it seem like it's not just the same old day over and over again, like Groundhog Day. You know, Bill Murray was changing it up and trying new things and learning as he was going. Why not you? The second way or step would be to stop waiting for one day. How many of us are waiting for one day? One day when I have more money, I'll do this. One day when my life isn't as chaotic, I'll do this. One day when I'm feeling better, I'll do it. You know, one day I'll start taking care of myself. Is that one day ever coming? The one day seems to get further and further away. What if instead you switched one day into day one? What's something you could do today that would help you feel more alive? Maybe it's book that trip. You know, we're going into spring break. We're going into summer. My gosh, isn't too far away. Maybe this is your sign right now to book that trip. You're on the fence with it. You're not so sure. Maybe it's too indulgent to do, or, yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that one day. Maybe today's the day one and you book that trip. Or you take that class. Or you put on a yoga video and you start stretching your body and getting that flow going, that chi going in you. Maybe it's phoning a friend that you've been meaning to contact, but you just never seem to have the time because you'll do it one day. What if one day didn't come? You know, I feel like we kind of walk around as the living dead. on that autopilot. And I want us to start feeling alive. So how do you start taking each day and making it day one? Each day, day one, and you do a little something. Doesn't have to be big. Some days it might be booking that trip, and then the next day it could be something else, putting yourself first, setting a boundary that you've been meaning to set. Do something that starts giving you more moments that matter and making you feel like you're not just getting through your day, but that you're creating your day. And the last step or way is to be fully present in the moment, which we struggle with because we live in a very distracting world. We're on our cell phones so much. I don't even know why they're called phones. How many calls have you taken on your phone? I get spam calls. Everyone seems to text me. I have occasional calls, but I have a lot more texts, or I'm on my emails, or I'm on an app, or I'm on social media, and we get very distracted. The TV and all the streaming services. How do we have moments that matter when we're not fully present in our moments? What if you did something as simple as your morning drink? For me, I have tea, then I move into some coffee. What if instead of being on your phone or on the TV, distracted in some way, you took that drink and just savored the flavor? Just spent a moment sitting back and enjoying that cup of coffee or tea and bringing in some gratitude. How indulgent does that sound, right? Oh, I don't have time for that, Michele. I've got to get going. I have things to do. I'll do that one day. How about day one? How long would it take you to savor that moment and enjoy that time with you and that drink? Something so simple, but that can create a moment that matters for you, something different. Or how many times are you in conversation with someone, and as they're talking, you're half listening and you're thinking about what you're going to say next? Or maybe they're talking about something and your mind is wandering to, well, after I'm done with this, then I have to do this and that. What if you spent that time just being fully present in that conversation, honoring that person and making them feel like the most important person in your moment, and let them say what they so feel they need to let out, and honoring that and finding that compassion and joy in that conversation. And it may actually be a great conversation that you now are present in and not distracted, and you find that your interaction and communication with this person turns out so much more meaningful than it would have been if you weren't present in that moment in conversation. Or go outside. I love being outside, can you tell? Watch that sunset, drink it in. The breeze maybe that you're feeling, the way the sky looks, if there's clouds, how the formation is. Just take in the beauty of nature. Tell me that wouldn't be a breathtaking moment that you have created by participating in what nature offers us every day. So what's one thing you could do today that you could just be fully present in? Because this is the journey that we're on now. It's a journey of rediscovery, of self-awareness, of personal growth. It's not just us living our day in that hamster wheel, doing the same old thing over and over again and then rinse and repeat. It's time for us to put the brakes on, especially in this stage of your life, and say, I choose to create moments that matter in my life. I desire to have my breath taken away, and I look to have fun and joy on a daily basis. You know, I have a day job that I work, and I work with the public, and that can be very challenging. It's a great opportunity for me to tap into compassion and empathy and to understand people more. And with that in mind, I look to be more present to them, for them, especially since I work in a doctor's office, and most cases they're coming in with an issue. And I look to have fun. There are times, you know, that my coworker and I are dealing with someone that they're struggling and they are lashing out. Can you relate? It's not to take it personally. It's theirs, and they're giving it to us. And we will let it out, what had happened, and laugh about it. Laugh not at them, but just to laugh to relieve the stress of, well, you know, just let it out. And I try to bring more fun into our days, and we have conversations, and we'll check things on our phone and share a funny video that we run into when we have some downtime. We look to make moments that matter and connect with each other, and not just get caught up in someone's bad mood that then ruins the rest of our day. Intentionally, how do you bring more joy into your day? How do you laugh more? How do you shrug things off more? How do you not let life weigh you down? And I get it. Understandably, you may be feeling some weight right now because you're in a form of transition, like I mentioned, of a divorce or being a widow or an empty nester or a career pivot where you're not sure, it's uncertain. And I want you to start seeing past what you currently have going on so that you can start creating what you would now love from that, to rise from the rubble and to create a life with moments that matter, that take your breath away. I would love to hear what moments matter to you. What have you discovered? And how can you take your breath away? What's one thing that's going to take your breath away today that you can create for yourself? Please share in the comments. And if I resonate with you, please like, follow, and subscribe for more. And share this with maybe someone that you feel could use that boost of confidence in knowing that life isn't just happening to us, it's happening for us. And we grow from this and can come fully alive. I will be with you next time. Until then, remember, it's day one today. What are you going to create? Do something small that brings a smile to your face today. And then let me know. I will see you again. Until next time, be well.